Hi, Daniel, Rizzo. How you doing?
Fine, how are you doing?
I was born with a chance to be somebody. I'm gonna be the most famous man in the whole world.
Should I call you Anthony Boyle or John Wilkes Booth?
John Wilkes Booth is interesting. Let's go with that.
Perfect. So, how would you describe yourself, Mr. Booth?
Mr. Booth would describe himself as charming, clever, and tall. But how Anthony Boyle would describe John Wilkes Booth would be racist, egomaniac, and narcissist.
I have really to say, and it's a compliment, I really hated you on screen.
Yeah.
And it's really, you're doing an amazing job. So did you know all the history? Did you know what happened on the 14th April 1865?
No, I didn't. I came at it with fresh eyes. I didn't know much about it. I knew as much as there's an episode of The Simpsons where Bart is playing John Wilkes Booth and he shoots Milhouse, who's playing Abraham Lincoln. That was my first sort of introduction to that. And then I learned about it when I was auditioning for the role. I didn't know that he was one of the most famous actors of his time. It was, yeah, incredible piece of history.
All of this can be broken.
So Anthony Boyle said he knew the Abraham Lincoln killing from a Simpsons episode where Bart killed Milhouse. So what was your history knowledge?
I mean, I knew about, Lincoln, how he was assassinated and things like that. I did not know it was part of such a much more massive conspiracy of other actors and other co-conspirators who were trying to take down not just Lincoln, but the entire American government and just throw it into disarray. And I didn't realize how close to the brink we were kind of brought as a nation because of it. And, this series really goes into how precarious things were.
Mr. President, the Confederacy is dead. The Union is saved. The war is over.
How would Abraham Lincoln describe himself?
Oh, well, I think he was terribly self-deprecating. He probably described himself as a creaky voice, reedy voiced, cackling, laughing, horribly unattractive, malnourished, stooping. He wasn't very nice about his own appearance, but God, he was a handsome and great man, I think. He had gorgeous gray eyes, which, fortunately some contemporaneous people picked up on what a handsome dude he was.
Freedom for the South!
So Monica, what was your approach? I heard that and read that many wanted to do a story about the assassination of Lincoln, but I've never seen a Lincoln like that. And so what was your approach for the story?
My approach was drawing from the nonfiction book Manhunt for the assassination night details, because they're so well researched by Mr. Swanson, and as well as his research on Booth's journey and the end game of his story. I also relied on 1,000 pages of the trial transcript of Lincoln's, of Booth's conspirators. It's very rich with many different witnesses and testimony. And so I was able to sort of draw from their testimony and work backwards in terms of what I could imagine happened in between and before the assassination.
What happened?
The president's been shot.
Witnesses are saying it was John Wilkes Booth. Wait, the actor?
Do you know who I am? I'm a symbol.
So normally in Germany, we say we don't speak about politics, for example, with Americans. But how was it for you? I think you had to speak a lot about politics from that time and from today. How was that experience?
In Germany, you refused to speak about politics with Americans, or just full stop?
No, it's like normally we say, if you meet Americans, don't talk about politics.
Right, okay. Yeah, it was interesting, particularly in Savannah, where we filmed, which was the South, because you had people who were proudly flying a Confederate flag still today. You know, it was very divided. You had some people who feel very differently, very, very differently, living in the same street. So I would just go up and speak to people and ask them, you know, why they're flying that flag and what do they feel about it and where are they. And it was a real eye opener for me to be in Savannah for the 8 months of filming.
How does a well-known actor commit murder in front of an audience of 1,500 people and escape?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I think politics to me is fascinating because it's human behavior and kind of humanity taken to extremes. And so I guess as an actor and as a creative, that's always really fun for me to observe. It was also really cool to see how something that happened back in the late 1800s has a lot of weird parallels with what is going on now today. That, to me, was fascinating and kind of reassuring. You know, we've always been this close to the brink, and so far, we're holding on. So,
Find the man that killed my husband.
Gentlemen, I am tasking you with the capture of John Wilkes Booth.
How would Booth think about himself and his actions?
Yeah, well, he's the hero. I mean, he was doing that. He said, you know, he would say things like in his letters that the black man is enslaving the white man in America. He felt like he was freeing his people. He feels like he is the white savior. You know, he's obviously we know as the audience that he's wrong and he's the villain and he's deluded, but in the piece, he feels like he's the hero. You know, everything Booth is doing, even to the last scene, he thinks he's going to survive. He thinks he's having delusions about becoming the president of the Confederate States. He thinks that he's this great hope. Only we know that he's not.
This is a conspiracy to dismember our government.
I know who you are, Mr. Booth.
You gonna help us or not?
There's a bounty on the head of Booth. I intend to collect.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And hope to see you soon, even as a good guy.
Yeah. Lovely chatting to you, man.
Thank you. Bye. It's a wonderful show.
Thank you very much.